Pisces, welcome to your 5 card movie star spread this week. As per usual, you can click on that description box below and it will talk about the significance of the spread. Woo! Your cards are being unruly. Pisces, pipe down. As per usual, you can click right on that description box below and it will talk about the significance of the spread as well as the placement of each card. So, here we go. See where we're at. Oh, okay, so you're starting out with the Tower card here. So let's talk about that. The Tower card is about a outside force that disrupts your foundation, okay? So this could be some bad news coming in that changes your plans, or this could be some new news coming in that makes you want to place a new framework on your value system, okay? So the Tower moment can be a disruptive source that upsets your plans, but it's how we deal with the Tower moment that makes it positive or negative, okay? When it comes in, it's shocking. Literally, right? Picture says it all. It's how we deal with it moving forward that decides the outcome of the Tower moment. So your antagonist, this is a very difficult thing to explain. I'm trying to find my words. The antagonist is the Page of Swords, and the Page of Swords gathers information, knows how to utilize information, and communicates information moving forward. So we can look at this Tower moment as if you maintain a victim mentality, this Tower moment comes in, and the information that you're trying to gather is, oh my God, why did this happen to me? How did this happen? So on, so forth. So when I say gaining that victim mentality, you see yourself as this happening to you. However, if you're a little bit more constructive about the situation, you can take this bad news or this unexpected news or this, disruption in your plan or this new information that comes into your life that makes you question your value system. And you can say, okay, why is this happening for me? So in this information phase, you're taking a different approach. You're saying, yeah, this didn't work out the way I wanted it to, or this is a huge change in what I thought was going to happen. But what am I learning from this situation? What am I taking away from the situation? What can I gain from the situation? What is this experience teaching me? So you see the difference? The victim mentality says, oh my God, why is this happening to me? What's going on out there that's making this bad thing happen? Whereas a more mature approach says, why is this happening for me? And what can I change within to take something away from this experience that'll help me make better choices in the future? Whatever it is, it hurts. So, above all else, the star card represents hope, but it also represents rejuvenation, a new direction, healing. All of these things have kind of been turned upside down. So what this tells me is this information, this Tower moment that came in, put you in a sense of discomfort. But what information are you gathering in the process? Are you asking, why did this happen to me, or why did this happen for me? And that is important. The antagonist is important because as we know that there's some uncomfortable change coming in, the journey is the King of Swords. This is the chess player in the deck. Okay. So, as chaos enters our life, okay, uncomfortable change enters our life. One amazing thing that it does for us, and we don't always recognize it in the moment, Pisces, is that it shows us the things we don't want. Okay? It shows us the things that we don't want in our life, and it gives us the opportunity to make change. So when I see the Page of Swords as your antagonist, collecting information, and I see your King of Swords in the journey, this is the chess player of the deck. This is the strategy. This is the Machiavellian approach. This is a means to an end. What this tells me is that the uncomfortable change happened in your life to give you a chance to change direction. Okay? It's showing you the things you don't want. And as you start to recognize the things you don't want, it narrows the list of possibilities in order of steps that you need to take in order to get what you do want. Ultimately, it's the process of elimination. Okay? So your possible outcome is the Magician in the inverse. Okay? This card can represent one of two things, and I'll give you the two things that I'm getting so you can make up your mind on what it is for each individual situation you're in. The Magician in the inverse is often looked at as a trickster. Okay? So you could feel like you were tricked into believing one thing, and then boom, you find out another, which is that uncomfortable change that comes in to show you what you don't want. The other way we can look at this is you had a particular idea, and that idea didn't serve your best interest. So what could have happened was you could have noticed some red flags, and rather than focus on the resources that were actually available to you, the red flags, you focused on the hope or belief of an idea. This is when somebody sees the potential in something and falls in love with the idea of the potential, not necessarily what's right in front of them. But then when the truth comes crashing in, that you believed this to be better than what it was, that makes you reevaluate. That gives you that uncomfortable change. And then you go back and you say, oh, well, did this happen to me or did this happen for me? Ooh, Pisces, this is deep. This is also a long reading. My readings usually don't go past 6 minutes. Ooh, I do not read cards from the floor, just so you know. And one of those cards just eliminated itself from the deck. Wow. If this is a vocational spread, you have a contract that isn't necessarily working out. If this is a personal spread, you have a union that isn't necessarily working out. Not all hope is lost, but the idea of leaving it behind is lingering. Okay? But here we have strategy again. We have more swords. So this guy right here, so people say manipulation. And again, just like the Page of Swords and just like this tower moment, it's the intention that we place on it that gives this either a positive or a negative connotation. So some people look at this as being manipulated by an outside source. They look at him as stealing swords from somebody else. But another perspective to look at this particular card is somebody strategizing, okay? So there's somebody who needed to transport these swords from this to that, and how many could they transport at one time? So this card, more than anything, represents strategy. So if there's a positive connotation to it, this is somebody planning to carry out a task. If there's a negative connotation to it, this is theft. This is somebody taking something from somebody. This is somebody manipulating somebody. So like I said, you're dealing with a contract or a union, and you're considering walking away, but only if you can understand the intent behind the other person's actions. Did you bypass red flags? Were you tricked? Did you just not understand the full picture when you initially had the idea? Are you gathering information to find out why this happened to you or why this happened for you? And if this uncomfortable change has come in to show you the things that you don't want, does this actually narrow the possibilities of the steps that you need to take to get to what you do want? Pisces, what I'm seeing in this spread is a snapshot of some inner conflict that gives you the opportunity to adjust your actions to make the change necessary to either work with somebody to make this contract better and strategize to fix the situation, or to evaluate this contract and see if you actually need it. So you have a choice here, and the choice is going to be different with everybody's situation. But I think the lesson to be learned is to look at this uncomfortable change that came in, this disruptive force, and strategize. Why is this happening for me? And what can I do to adjust this situation for my higher good, for self-preservation? Pisces, you have a lot to think about. I hope you found a message that serves your highest good. I think this is the longest YouTube reading I've ever done, so I really hope this gives you some insight into your situation. I'll see you guys next week.